Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we're going to have a look at how we can use Frontic Studio to ideate about improvements in our store. We're going to have a look at a product card and use Studio to come up with improvements for that card, and then we're going to deploy those changes live. Before we do anything, let's have a quick look at what we're working with before we get started. So I've added a simple homepage that I let Studio generate, and also a search. So here we can actually go ahead and search for some products, and we are presented with a search result page. And what I think is that the way that the products are displayed here, it is working, but I think there's some space for improvement. So we're going to ask Studio to come up with some ideas, and then we're going to ask it to implement them, or we're going to review them and propose some on our own, and then we'll take it from there. Hey Studio, I think we can make some improvements to the product cards in the search result listing. Could you please propose some changes? After a bit of exploration, Studio has come up with some ideas. Let's go through them one by one. First of all, it's offering adding a sale badge and a strike-through price. Even though that's kind of a neat idea, I know our data doesn't really provide that information. We can have a quick add to cart on hover. We can have a wish list icon that'll allow users to quickly add it to the wish list. And the image swap on hover, which I think is kind of a cool addition because it also exists on the real IKEA page, which I kind of like. But I also want to have something else, which is I want to show reviews on the product cards because we have that information, and I think it would be quite nice for users to understand where that product lives in the review space. So I'm just going to put that here. I really like the image swap idea, but on top of that, I would also like you to add a short indication of the user reviews. So maybe you can show the amount of stars or the average rating on the product card. I think that would greatly enrich the user experience and maybe even help conversion rate. I saw that it came up with some more ideas even, which I put into a second question. So let's have a look at this here. We have the grid density toggle. Okay, that way users can change the amount of cards displayed or the size of the cards. Sticky filter sidebar, sort indicator, skeleton, and content fade. Even though all of those are good ideas, I kind of want to go with the original one, and I'm just going to go none of those and submit. So Studio's compiled those changes into a dedicated plan, saying exactly what it's going to do. I'm adding the reviews result to the product card block, which is being used inside the search results page. And then it's also telling how it's going to update the underlying component and giving us some technical details on that. Also, how it's going to determine the ratings as well as the image to be swapped out when we hover the card. And we're just going to go ahead and approve the plan. Right, so Studio's given us a summary of the changes that it's done. We can already see that here on the listing, we actually have this preview of the stars as well as the number of reviews and the average rating, which is quite cool. And also we can see that we have this nice hover effect, which changes the picture of the product. I don't really like this double hover effect where we have this card's shadow, however. I think it doesn't really go well along with the other one, so I'm going to ask you to change that. We have this double hover effect where not only the picture changes, but also the product card gets a subtle shadow. Can we get rid of that shadow effect, please? Okay, so Studio said, okay, quick fix is in. We can try it out. And yeah, we got rid of that double effect. I think this is way nicer. And we can now go ahead and commit those changes. We can say add reviews in product listing and switch image on hover and commit. Now, since we already hooked up Vercel with our repository, we just had to reload the page. You can see here, this is on the IKEA demo app that I've deployed, and I can look for something. And here I see in the search result page, I have my changes showing up. We have the separate image. Not all products have second images, so really as a fallback, it's not doing anything. But when there is a second image set, we can see that it gets shown here. This way, we have iterated on our product card. We have asked Studio for some ideas. We can now go on thinking about the other ideas, exploring what's possible there, and then have it go straight to our website.